So he's on 11,000 minutes. Like, let's look at, I just say it's ballpark. Like, some will be more, some will be less. Depends on the manager who likes them. But I don't really get your point. These are all young players still, aren't they? Barring Jack Grealish. Like, would you not consider Mbappe a young player because he's played nearly 9,000 league minutes?
I would say is now past the point where we have to call Mbappe a youngster.
That's nonsense. Do you know do you want to know one of the biggest reasons why? It's a scientific fact. Your frontal lobe as a human being doesn't fully develop until you're about 25 to 26. There is no coincidence that sports stars and athletes, barring female gymnasts, tend to peak, and maybe that's changed now, maybe my head's off, tend to peak between 25 and 30. Not only when their body becomes at prime physical condition, barring injuries, it's when their brain fully matures and they think clearer. There's more clarity. There's no coincidence in that. So for you to say, oh, Rashford can't be considered a youngster because he's played quite a lot of minutes, by the way, not disproportionately more than other players within his age group at the elite level, is weird. It's weird.
You have to consider the amount of game time he got, and also the amount of game time he's got at a big club, at Man United.
Okay, so would you one sec. Would you also discount the fact then that his game time has come under three failed managers in a club that's in turmoil? Should he not get like brownie points for that?
But you could also say these managers have given him a chance that he wouldn't have got anywhere.
No, but you told me, you've been on here and told me that like Ollie can't coach, can't train, can't do anything. So that's obviously the last 2 years, like Rashford's been wasting because he's not been getting the coaching level. So are you not going to praise him for still progressing, even though he's had a bad manager? Would you not give him credit for that?
I would say so, yes, because maybe a better manager, he could have developed more. So yeah. So
the point being is, like, it's not all on Rashford. So Rashford might have been given a lot of minutes, but if he's being coached by bad people, that shouldn't be a bonus for Rashford. It has to be a hindrance on him. I'm confused now. So he's been getting coached by bad coaches, and you're saying he should have his young badge taken away. That's a bit weird, isn't it?
He's got a lot of top level experience. He's
had bad coaching though, so he hasn't been doing it properly, bruv. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you go to the gym and you're lifting weights incorrectly, you're going to hurt yourself. You're not going to form the muscles in the right way. You're going to cause long-term injuries. You're not going to be a good weightlifter or a good bodybuilder. You need to do it properly. So if he's had bad coaches, they haven't been training him right, and you've been the guy that said they were bad, you can't be saying that he's had a lot of minutes. So that means he should be better than he really is. Those two things are hypocritical. They don't make sense. So he's either had good coaches or he hasn't. And if he has, and he's played lots of minutes under a bad coach, you can't be saying he should be better than he really is. It's mad, bruv. Mad.
Eyetest, how old are you? If you don't mind me asking. Yeah.
I'm 18.
So you won't remember when Ronaldo first came to the club and how annoyed certain people were with his over dribbling, his diving, not his unpredictable crossing, strikers not being able to read it. You would have been here slating Ronaldo. Mm-hmm. What happened? Ronaldo trained. Ronaldo picked up. And we start to see it later on in stages. When Ronaldo first, what is that? Rooney was miles clear of him. And then what happened?
He caught up, baby. You know what I'm saying? Overtook him.
Hello? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Rooney was miles clear of him when Ronaldo, in the early stages. Miles. And Ronaldo trained hard and ended up progressing. You would have slated him.
Eyetest, you're 18, so you're a young buck yourself, yeah? How would you like it if whatever you do in school or college, or if you're in a job, that all I did was say, Eyetest, you've done this for a while now, you should be better, you should be better, you should be better. That's all I did. All I did was get on to you about, you're not doing this right, not doing that right. You don't do it as well as this guy around the corner. You can't do a good job as him. How would you feel if that's all I did at your age?
I'd be like, you're right. I've been doing this for so long and I'm still not good at it.
So you're telling me would you give up?
Would I give up?
Would you give up? Would you give up that doing and be like, oh, I'm not good enough, so I'm just gonna?
I've had so much experience. Yeah, like Rashford, he's had so much experience that most people his age haven't had.
Yes, but
lies.
Would you give up?
Lies.
Wait. Would you give up, Eyetest?
No.
So why are you telling Marcus? You basically say Marcus Rashford should be giving up.
No,
and should be put to. You're saying that it should be put to the side.
I don't believe. I believe for Man United's sake, we should try and make Rashford a super sub, and we should get.
And that's all fine, but a lot of your reasoning doesn't make sense. So again, you're basically I have a lot of experience. I've got a lot of experience at my job at 35 years involved in the industry that I worked in. But there's a reason that when you go into certain professions, the more senior people are older, because the experience counts, you know. And to try and say that, you know, Rashford has had quite a lot of minutes, so there is no doubt, but it's on par with other players of his age group within world football at the elite level at that point. And so it's weird that you're trying to make that a negative again about him. And again, you're still not going back to my point. After all these things you say, he's still one of the highest producing attacking players in European football. So I get your preference about you'd rather somebody else, and that's absolutely fine. But you use it as a way to diminish Marcus Rashford. You then, as KJ said, I'm plagiarizing him here. You then drop the eye test and you forget about what role Rashford plays. You don't take his role into consideration. You don't take his skill set into consideration. You don't take what he considers into consideration. You just want something different. So for me, again, I don't think your issue is Rashford. Your main issue should be the coach, because it isn't Rashford's fault that he isn't being played how you want him to be. That's on the coach, isn't it? Like, Rashford's doing what the manager is telling him to do. I just know what it is. You just don't like Rashford. And I think Rashford could... What would Rashford... If Rashford started scoring and assisting 40 plus goals a season for 4 or 5 years running, or something like that, what would he have to do, barring dribble more, which he isn't going to do? He isn't going to do that. And he probably isn't going to create more per game, because that isn't his match. Barring that, what would he have to do if you determine and go, I was wrong, he's a top-class player?
Like I said, yeah, I addressed this already. If we're going to consider his role, yeah, where he doesn't have to dribble as much, creating
he doesn't. So that's already there.
Score more. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How much more? How much more? Put a number on it, please.
Okay, I want him to score, I would say 15 plus outfield goals. Not just...
He scored 15 plus outfield goals last season.
He scored 20 plus.
He scored 20.
Talking about penalties. Yeah, I'm talking about 15 goals every season, yeah, from outfield play. He scored 11 goals last season.
So all this annoyance for 4 goals. What? All this annoyance for 4 goals.
4 goals.
Hold on. Wait, Terry, can I just say?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm tired of people saying this. Whether you like it or not, penalties count towards goals. I don't want to hear.
Eyetest,
you scored penalties.
Eyetest, do you get vexed? Do you get vexed when the player misses a pen?
Chelsea won the Champions League on penalties.
Yeah. Eyetest, do you get vexed when the player misses a pen?
2 seconds. I'm not saying penalties don't matter. I'm just saying because Rashford's not on penalties anymore. We need to consider that.
Yeah, so and he's not on penalties, and this is what you're not considering. He hasn't been on penalties regularly since Bruno came in, which is nearly a year, and Rashford's outputs have gone up by 2%. He's maintained and improved on his goal to game ratio since then. Why are you not noticing this? So so when he was taking the penalties, he was scoring or creating a goal in 76% of his games. Since the penalties were taken away, he's now at 78%. So it's got better. Do you know what that means? Tell me what that means.
That he's got better.
So why are you not happy?
Because it's not the levels.
Of who?
There's no point.
I just wanted to get... I know it's been an hour on this subject, but it's been a fascinating conversation. What it proves to me, when all is said and done, is that this is where the eye test...
No pun intended.
Yeah, this is where the eye test... No pun intended. Great word on stuff. This is where the eye test fouls the eye test mob. And again, everyone calls me a stat guy, and it makes me laugh, really, because, again, you lie about me. You have to lie about me to put me down. I do both. I look at the eye test and I look at the stats. So my view is this. I think Zaha on the eye is quite beautiful to watch. But if you're going to put him up against another really beautiful to watch football player, how I'm going to assess who the best is, yes, of course, you look at the club and there's little nuances. But if you're 28 and you're still at Crystal Palace, I want to know why another big club hasn't come in for you as well. That should play a part in your thinking. But I'm going to then compare it on numbers. So when I look at Bruno Fernandes and look at KDB, I look at two very highly skilled attacking midfielders. The only way to split them fairly is their outputs, because arguing over who's got the best pass on the outside of their foot, who looks better in a pair of pants, who does what. For me, it's outputs, clutch moments, performances in the big games. Those three areas is what you then start to look at. You have to. Otherwise, it just becomes an argument about preference, and there's no point in that. You have to then look at the cold, hard facts of the matter, like we do with our teams. In the Premier League right now, there are three top teams performing so far this season: Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool. How do we know who the best is? It's the one that wins the most amount of points. We don't decide the league winner by who we all individually think looks the best. It's about who wins the most. So when it comes to players and they're of equal standing, you look at things, clutch moments, influencing games, goals. Now, it's easy with attacking players to look at goals, chances created. When it's central midfielders, you have to look at their ball retention, their pass completion. I think that things like their secondary assists, as an example, if they're always winning the ball back, their interception rates, their tackle rates, their defensive duels. There are still statistics you can look at, as well as look at them technically as football players. And this should be done for every single position fairly. You can't compare a DM versus an attacking midfielder. It's absolutely stupid and scandalous. But if you're going to compare Rashford, you compare him to other inside forwards. On ability, all of us on the call might have a different view and opinion. So what it comes down to is, well, who at the end of today, when it comes down to brass tacks, is producing? And if Rashford is scoring in 20 to 30% more games than Joe Bloggs, but their skill set is equal in different areas, Rashford's the better football player, in my opinion. That's just how it has to be done. Otherwise, you never get to a consensus. Because again, like I say, you don't pick the league winner by who plays the nicest football. Otherwise, West Ham might have won the Premier League a few times. They've had some nice football over the years. There's no doubt about it. Listen, Eyetest. Go on, mate.
Yeah, so the last thing I want to say to the viewers, please, people, don't do stats. Stats are ruining the game.
Hang on, stop. You've just sat here and told us all the stats as to why Rashford's not a good player, you pleb. The only way you've been able to put Rashford down is Eyetest. Eyetest, stop. You just said Rashford isn't scoring enough goals. That's a stat, bruv.
If he's
that's a stat. Stat. It's a stat. Shamal, I love this game. Shamal. Eyetest. You're mad.
You're speaking like, you've been around for all these years saying, nowadays people is about this and that. You're 18, bro. You've just barely got out the ball sack, fam. You've just come fresh out the womb, bro. Like, you still got the umbilical cord on your belly button, fam. Bro. You can't be coming out here and telling people how to view football, when you've just about seen it. You've already admitted you don't even remember Valencia, fam. Until you're Valencia, fam.
It's crazy. It's crazy here. It's crazy, Eyetest. When you say don't listen to stats, but what would make Rashford better is if he scored 4 more goals from open play a season. That's literally a stat. The thing that would make you like Rashford is a statistic, but you're telling us to not look at statistics. How does that make any sense? And do you know what that comes down to? That's because all the Eyetest merchants hide behind the Eyetest category so they can just discount any evidence to suggest why the player they like has got a flaw or got a problem. But have you noticed how they all, and we know that Eyetest merchants are talking about on socials, will always use stats to put down players they dislike. Rashford's conversion rate, Bruno giving the ball away too much, Paul Pogba walking too much. They hate stats, but they love them when it's to put somebody down they dislike. The irony and the hypocrisy in these people is absolute. Do you know what it is? It's laughable. And Eyetest, honestly, bro, I know you love stats. You love stats. You know how I know? Because you keep tweeting me statistics from La Liga about how well Real Sociedad are doing. Bro, that league table is a stat.
You know what these man want? These man want Rashford to do 10 step overs, a rainbow flick, and do all of that. That's all they want.
I'm telling you,
he's young. Literally, I'm gonna start getting on him, man. He's a kid, fam. Like he hasn't experienced life.
He's not a kid. He's 18. He's a grown man. Man can vote. Man can vote. You know, just think, people like that. Eyetest can vote for government, bruv. Like, that's the worry, innit? No, I ain't joking, Eyetest. I'm only bantering you, bro. Listen, you'll learn, mate, as you get older. It's about both. It's about what they look like and what they deliver. But I think with Rashford, if Rashford dribbled never 3 or 4 times per game, did step over, rainbow flicks, wicked skills, made everyone go, wow, but didn't score or assist as much as he does now, I think Eyetest would like him more. Eyetest right now, you're at that age where style means more to you than substance. You know, it really, and do you know how you know this? Boy racers are the epitome of this. A boy racer will buy a clapped out car for $1,000 and then spend $8,000 doing it up to make it look souped up, rather than spending $8,000 at a car showroom on a really good car that doesn't break down, that gets into work, that looks okay. Do you get where I'm coming from? Boy racers are the epitome of youngsters. They're all style over substance. What looks better? You know, they're mad. They're mad. They're the guys that spend all their money on clothes and the first round of drinks to look rich, and then can't buy buy the girl a drink and get a taxi home because they got no money. Go on,
when
mate.
they're comparing players, remember, listen to what they say carefully, because you always got to read between the lines or listen to what they say. They don't say someone's better. They say someone is more talented.
Better ability. Yeah.
Bless him, man. Oh, listen, he's just a kid, innit? Like he's just started watching football. Like I was like that too when I was a kid, innit? Like when I was like, I love X player, Y player because he does all these flicks. Yo, fam. When you get older, and realize, these fancy tricks and all these things, as much as I love them, ain't the thing that gets them through football and gets them to win titles. Then
do you know what's mad? I was at a football thing once, doing some it was like a charity event, and what bloody Premier League footballer was there? Chelsea star, Italian guy, short, little, tiny. Zola was there, and it was like a 5-a-side thing with Barclays, and Gianfranco Zola was there. And he wasn't really coaching anyone. He was just turning up. And this team of young sort of guys played. And there's one lad, really skillful, just dribbled. And I remember Zola just sort of saying to him, he said, pass the ball more. So why? He goes, a pass will move faster than you ever can with the ball. Just get it to your teammate quicker and move into right. He goes, choose the right time when to dribble as an example, but pass it more. If you go, he says something along the lines of, if you've got the opportunity in the game to dribble 10 times or pass 10 times, pass 10 times. And that's Gianfranco Zola, right? And I remember listening to that guy and see these ability merchants and these eye testers need to listen to what footballers say. Now, he was an amazing dribbler, but he knew when to dribble and when not to. And that's the thing for me. But Eyetest, are you still there or did you leave?
He's there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Bro, listen, man, it's always a pleasure having you. Are you real or are you like a character? You can't be real, bruv.
No, he's real, fam. He's real.
I love the beautiful game. I don't care about these XGs, XA. I watch the blood clot game.
Yeah, but then if you watch the game, then there's nothing statistical that Rashford can do to make you improve. Then it's about what you see. So why would you give a statistic as to what he can do to impress you and make you like him? And if it's about preference, then you shouldn't even be in these debates because you're just talking about what you like. And that's just mad. It's like you coming on and saying, I prefer chocolate milkshake to vanilla. Well done, you. Go eat it, bruv. Like, that ain't my problem. Like, at the end of the day, I don't care about people's preferences. You know, we all know the most bought dish in this country is curry. So there is no debate that it's the best dish because the most amount of people like it the most. It's not a debate. I don't care about your preference. It's as simple as that, bruv. Do you know what I mean? The best singers sell the most. The best movies, like, get the most views, sell the most DVDs, get the most downloads, whatever. That is the way it works. Personal preference is just you and your mates having a chat. It ain't real life, bruv. Do you know what I mean? All right, last season. Go on, mate.
Do you play football as well? Do you just watch it?
Nah, you don't play.
I play football.
I know what you are, bruv. You were that guy that was wicked in the playground. You were wicked in the playground, but crap in the team, innit? You were like the baller in the playground at lunchtime, but when you go into the school team, you can't hack the system and the style, and you don't make it, and you hate it because you can't actually operate in an actual game. You're like those freestylers that do all the kick up and flicks, but they can't actually play ball, innit? That's you, innit?
Robinho.
That's you, innit, bro? I heard by that's true. Your PE teacher was like, yeah, you try too hard, too many flicks and tricks, keep it simple. And you were like, no, bro, I love the blood clot game. And then he sent you out, innit? That happened to you, didn't it?
No, I'm better than everyone here. Facts.
Right, Eyetest, what level? I'm really intrigued now. I love talking about actual, like, people just playing football. What level do you play at?
Can't lie, but Thingy.
I hope you don't lie.
No,
that's a lie. That's a lie right there.
Fingy.
Let him finish. What level do you play at, bro?
Yeah, can't lie, but Real Madrid offered me a contract, but my mom said I need to study. My mom said I need to study.
Real Madrid, bro. Real Madrid.
Wait. Hey, listen. Okay, if Real Madrid offered you a contract, that means you've been playing at a level somewhere else. What club did you play for if you're getting a contract from Real Madrid, fam?
I've been playing with the club next to my house, you know. Then Real Madrid.
So where did Real Madrid see you? Where is it that Real Madrid saw you?
You know, some scout came.
Where did he come to? Where did he come to?
No, I was joking, man.
I know you're joking. We saw straight away. See, I played all counties Saturday football is the highest level I got to. Same bad. But I've always said distinctly average. I don't even know how I got into that level, and I got found out at that level. Remember one game, 20 minutes in, I was getting run ragged by this winger, and the manager went, "Tell." I was like, "Yeah, guys, I'm taking you off in a minute. Just be prepared. Don't throw your toys at your pram." He went, "You're not for this level, are you, mate?" I was like, "Nah." I was so happy he took me off, bruv. And I did that thing as well. I got took off. I limped off for no reason. I thought, I'm limping. I got to go out and keep my head up high. I was like, yeah, I found my level. It was the worst as well. I wasn't bad as a kid, but I barely played football for about 8 years when I was doing my kickboxing. And I stopped. I thought, I'll go back to football. It'd be fine. I'm 21, 22. It'd be great. Don't ever go back to it if you never kicked a ball properly.
Well, listen,
mad.
If you want to talk about actual level as a normal person, Monster played academy football, Bob. So if you're not playing academy football for a decent club, yeah, then don't chat to me about no.
2 teams, by the way, 2 teams.
2 teams,
Jeez,
fam. 2 teams, fam. That's levels, fam. You would talk about levels, yeah? You ain't levels, bro. It just peaked, fam.
My nephew's doing good. My little nephew just signed for Tottenham, doing all right, doing well. That's levels. And my cousin, I don't know about football. My cousin, professional footballer, knocked Chelsea out the UEFA Cup, bro. Bang with his head. We've got ballers in my family, but I just unfortunately couldn't really do it.
Just pulled one back.
Oh, there we go. Listen, everyone who's tuned in this evening, thank you all very, very much. 9 p.m. tonight, that Arsenal show. I can't believe we've been on for 2 hours and 10 minutes. Eyetest, you are a legend, bro. Until next time, everyone, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.